It's two dudes with attitudes, a wrestling podcast with your boy Ryan enjoys wrestling and MWO, and this is our WWE edition. And we got a jam-packed show, man. SmackDown, Raw, NXT, and we have a slam-packed Money in the Bank with a whole lot of matches, 4 to be exact. So I don't know how we're going to get through all those. And we also have news. So Ryan, are you ready?
Yeah, we have a 4-hour AEW event this Wednesday as well to sit through. So that'll be fun. So it's going to be another one of those weeks in the world of pro wrestling.
It will. You know what? Let's hit that music. Let's go.
Two dudes with attitudes. Let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes ruthless, aggressively speaking. So let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton. They here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit. Start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
So yeah, we have releases, debuts, and PLEs. Oh my, we got all sorts of stuff going on in WWE this week. A lot of information, and we're going to start with the news. And that's right, that is two dudes read the news. What do you got, Ryan? What do you got for us?
So as on Sunday, this past Sunday, we had a shocker of a release. Apparently we had R-Truth has been officially released from his contract. So he posted something on X on Sunday morning, and he wrote, let me find the exact quote, but he wrote on X that WWE informed me that that I've been released from my contract. So he wrote it that he was released, and he thanked all the fans for the ride. He thanked everybody that came along with him for the journey. And this happened on June the 1st, Sunday, June the 1st. And a lot of people thought, like, okay, he's playing his R-Truth character. He's playing his gimmick. He thinks it's April Fool's Day. It's June 1st. So people were like, yeah, LOL, like, haha, yeah, you were released. You were just on the Saturday night main event with John Cena. You were just on Friday Night SmackDown. Like, there's no way that they would ever release R-Truth. But then more and more information came out, and it turns out that all of it was true. He removed WWE from his Twitter account. His name was Ron Killing WWE. Now it's just Ron Killings. He removed all WWE mentions. So R-Truth has officially, he wrote that he was released, but then it turns out that they're just not renewing his contract, which expires, I guess, at the end of June or at sometime in June. But R-Truth is officially done in the WWE. And, he was on SmackDown last Friday. He wrestled JC Mateo in his final WWE appearance. Almost made Solo Sikoa break character when he referred to him as his husky son. It was a funny way to go out. And, 17 years R-Truth was in the WWE from 2008 to 2025. But people forget that he was in WWE before that with as K-Quick teaming up with Road Dogg. Then he went to TNA and had a hell of a run in TNA as the first African-American NWA World Heavyweight Champion. So fun stuff. Hopefully R-Truth lands on his feet, but he wasn't the only shocking release. The other release that we got, or contract not being renewed, was Carlito. We have an entire segment named for Carlito. That's cool. That's not cool. Judgment Day. He never got his date with Raquel Rodriguez. But apparently WWE just he was not on Raw, so his contract runs out at the end of June as well. So I thought maybe they'll let him be on TV for the next couple of weeks to write him off. No, he just wasn't there, and they didn't even mention him. But Carlito is officially done with WWE, as well as Valhalla, currently also known as Sarah Logan, part of the Viking Raiders. She was the girl that wore the horns. She wrote on Instagram that she's also not having her contract renewed with WWE. She's married to either Eric or Ivar, one of the War Raiders in real life, and she's been on maternity leave. So that's 3 big time, or 2 big names, and then Valhalla that's being released from WWE. So we won't see them gracing us with their presence and entertaining us on their screens anymore.
Here's my thing, too. It's also 3 wrestlers who have already been released from WWE. So I know we're all attacking Triple H, and although he has no damn say in it at all, no matter what Sean Ross Sapp might report. But they were all released under Vince's regime, too. So it stinks. People get second chances to come back, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I like that you brought up Carlito in our segment because we were doing that segment before he got brought back to WWE. Thank you very much. But yeah, it's sad to see. That's not cool to fire Carlito. But once again, what was he doing? They weren't letting him wrestle matches. He's really just been sitting in the background, kind of, just a one-liner. R-Truth, I think there's more to it. There's rumors that they offered him a contract and he denied it because he wanted more money. Possibly that's true. I mean, hopefully he's not trying to go to AEW because, Will Ospreay just said that everybody in WWE has to earn their respect. They are above them, bruv. And if Will Ospreay says it, there's no chance R-Truth is going unless R-Truth signs with Stardom or one of those big organizations like New Japan Pro Wrestling. He'll have to work the shows for at least a couple years. And then hopefully R-Truth, RK Quick can, arrive into AEW. So good luck to him. But in all seriousness, I don't think this whole story is done with R-Truth either. And maybe they offered him a Legends contract and he said, no, thank you. I want to keep wrestling. And, the same thing happened with Adam Copeland. I get that I saw the stupidest things too, because people are like, if you're going to Raw this week, you need to protest and this and that. And people are like, if you're paying the money to go, you can't protest if you're giving them what they want. So no, you sound like more people are so stupid. You like R-Truth, respect to you. I love R-Truth, so on and so on. But there's always more to what's really, really going on. There could have been all sorts of things. Maybe R-Truth was making a ton of money and they didn't feel like his contract was worth. I mean, you're allowed to you know what I mean? But in the long run, TKO, I said this from day one. Before Manias, before I said it on this damn podcast and on my app on TikTok, I said TKO is going to change and ruin the way you see WWE as of today. It is. They did it with UFC. They're not loyal. Mm-hmm. They don't care about fans. They care about money, sponsorships, and selling high-priced tickets. That's what they did with the UFC. So it is what it is. That's just the way of the WWE, whether you like it or not. So, womp womp.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. I mean, R-Truth is the one. Like I said, I keep saying this, but he's the one who wrote that he was released from. So but then it turns out that his contract just wasn't renewed. So it does kind of imply that there is more to it. Maybe they were like, hey, you don't want this contract? Okay, well, you're done. And then he was like, wait, what? No, hang on, hold up, LOL, I'm just JK. But yes, so but I was shocked with R-Truth considering he just had the run with John Cena. But maybe he was alluding to it as well at Saturday night's main event because he was holding up the shirt that was like, the last time is now, and after this you can't see me. So maybe it was foreshadowing. Maybe he did know. But this whole thing has led to a lot of speculation on the internet as well, because people like Gunther unfollowed the WWE on their social media accounts, and they removed all WWE mentions. But so did The Miz. And The Miz really hasn't been doing anything on the main roster of note pretty recently. So people are speculating, and The Miz's contract allegedly runs out in July. So people are speculating that maybe The Miz's time is in WWE is up. But he just got a job hosting the new American Gladiators. So maybe not. I don't know what's going on. But maybe he was just outraged that they fired his friend, and he decided, you know what, like this is my way of getting back at them. I've never understood why they do that though. Why do you unfollow the WWE? And why do people care? Like, that's the other thing. Like, why are you watching who they follow? So it's weird.
I mean, they all do it for clicks, right? For views. That's why they miss it. Gunther doing it is a little bizarre. And he is wrestling Jey Uso for the title, and it's on Monday Night Raw, which is even more bizarre. That doesn't seem like a title change happening to me.
No.
Maybe Gunther is bouncing. I mean, I don't know. Once again, though, Gunther Miz, bruvs, you're gonna go have to work at Stardom and New Japan Pro Wrestling if you wanna make it to AEW, because Gunther, you are not even close to being on the same level. The same level as those AEW stars. So Gunther, get in the back of the line. You too, Miz. You ain't done shit.
And I will say, like, I've been defending AEW a lot more recently. I've been standing up for them a lot more, but I can't defend Will Ospreay and his idiotic comments with that. Like, just shut up. It's time. Like, from now on, don't say anything about WWE on podcasts anymore. Mm-hmm. And people ask him, and because they know they're going to get an answer, and it's a different answer every time, and it's always it gets worse and worse. He just needs to keep his mouth shut.
Yeah, no, for reals, he needs to. All right, let's get into some SmackDown. You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going to start off with Bianca Belair. She was in her hometown. She came out and cut a promo, and then she was interrupted, in my opinion, the new hottest thing going on, and that is heel Naomi, who basically said that she stalked her, went into her house, sniffed her underwear drawer, looked at family photos. Bianca had no idea, neither did the parents, I guess, because they were there in shock disbelief. And Bianca basically said, I'm going to whoop you worse than you whooped Jade, than Jade Cargill whooped you or whatever if you ever step in my house again. Naomi cried, whatever. And then Jade Cargill came out, Nia Jax came out, and the brawl, happened. I was really, really hoping with that Bianca Belair promo last week, the pre-taped one, and her coming out this week, that we were going to get, that heel. But Bianca, like Naomi, needs a change. She's really stale. I think it really showed in this promo, but maybe that's what we're getting. So, I mean, Naomi crying, Naomi still talking about how they're friends. Why would you drag it on this long unless we're going to get something from it? Maybe Bianca's going to help her and attack Jade Cargill. I don't know. I think it should. But what do you think? You think we were alluding at that, or you think we're just getting the same old John Cena, Bianca Belair for the rest of our lives?
No, I think there's more to this than meets the eye, because Jade Cargill came out and she still hasn't acknowledged Bianca Belair whatsoever. Nope. So it feels like she knows. But she was eyeing her at the Elimination Chamber when she attacked Naomi when it was revealed, and then she was eyeing her when she came out and attacked her after Naomi's first promo when she turned heel. So she's been eyeing her, and this time she eyed her really hard. So it makes me wonder, like, is there more to this? Does Jade Cargill know something that she's not saying, which means like she knows that Bianca was in on it and she's waiting for her opportunity to strike. So I do think there's more to it than meets the eye. And this has been sneakily one of the better stories that WWE's been telling on Friday Night SmackDown. It's been one of the most entertaining things that they have on that 3-hour show that just drags on right now.
Dude, well, don't worry. It's going to be dragging on for years to come. They just announced that. But yeah, I think there's more to it too, because we've already moved on. Jade and Naomi already wrestled. Jade already whooped her, but now they're still feuding. Naomi now is in, which we'll talk about. She advanced into the Money in the Bank on SmackDown as well, which once again, you never know. I mean, I'm loving it. And yeah, and Tiffany Stratton, even though I think she's been doing a great job, they haven't given her a lot. And so she's kind of like I forget who the women's champions are sometimes. And you know what I mean? So, but she has a lot to look forward to. And the thing is, it looks like any of these women, poor Tiffany Stratton's kind of like Jey Uso right now, which we'll get to in our Raw segment, where she kind of looks like JC Jane too on NXT, like that champion that's just sitting there ready to get beat, right? I'm like, when I think of like, oh, is it going to be Naomi, Bianca, Jade, Nia? I'm like, all these women could beat Tiffany Stratton. You know what I mean? So, but maybe she'll shock me. But yeah, but I'm liking this women's division right now, and I think it's really, really, really good.
Yeah, no, I'm digging it too, and Naomi, man, she keeps getting better and better.
Oof, Bianca needs to do the same thing. Speaking of something that's killing it, I think the best in all of pro wrestling and the tag team, and that's the SmackDown tag team division with one Street Profits leading the way. Are they heels? Are they baby faces? Who the heck knows, and who cares? And they cut a pretty good promo, and out came DIY, and out came Motor City Machine Guns, and they're all kind of bickering and arguing, and then out comes the Wyatt Sick6. Once again, they came out, and their pop was a lot less than it was the week before. What say you? The Wyatt Sick6. Well, one, you can talk about the promo, obviously, but Wyatt Sick6, is it working? Will it ever work? Them going for the tag team titles, is that what's going to make it not work or work? What say you?
Oh, man. I didn't like this. I like the promo from the Street Profits, and I like that They finally gave the Motor City Machine Guns some microphone time, and we got to hear from DIY. All of a sudden, Candice LeRae is a part of that group. It feels like that kind of popped up out of nowhere. You know, I know she's married to Johnny Gargano, but it was just like, where's she been this whole time? And now she's like speaking for him, which was strange. But I like that they're really building that tag division. Although they need some more depth. They need some more tag teams on SmackDown.
Yeah, there's only three.
It just feels like it's the same thing week in and week out. And then the Wyatt Six, you know, I'm okay with them going for the tag titles. I'm okay with them taking out the entire tag division. But the thing is this was the exact same thing that they did the week before. So it was just kind of very, very wash, rinse, repeat. Like, we just saw this. They took out the entire tag division when they made their shocking return the week before. And now they're doing it again the very next week. And who's going for who's doing what? Is it Bo Dallas and Joe Gacy? Is it Bo Dallas and Dexter Lumis? Is it Dexter Lumis and Eric Rowe? Like, who are they going for? It's just very, very weird. And I don't think that the Wyatt Six is ever going to work. I'm happy that they're back. I'm glad we finally see them on TV, but we didn't talk about it last week because I kind of forgot about it, and also I just don't really care all that much. And I feel the same way this week. Like, I just don't care about the Wyatt Six, and until they do something to get me to care, I'm gonna feel this way going forward.
But this isn't it, right? The Fiend was phenomenal until it became champion, right? You can't. Yeah. You know, Undertaker had how many championship runs? I mean, you don't need it. You're you're that character. Just be that character. And the Wyatt Six going after the tag team titles makes zero sense. I mean, it really, really does. And their first pop last week was good. Yeah, it was going to. It was out of nowhere. This week's not so much, man. I mean, I'm glad they're doing the like humanized version of them where they're not super, they're just themselves and they have their fit masks off and all that, and they're wrestling. But I also think it hurts them because what do you do with them? I think if they should have had them attacking random people throughout the show, that's who they need to be, right? Manipulating people, doing the weird videos, beating up people, wrestling in matches like that. But going after the tag team division, I think I feel like we're going to get another video in a month or so where TKO releases the Wyatt Six, and we're all going to be talking about it and protesting.
Yeah.
Yelling at Cloud.
We want the Wyatts. Yeah. How would they do this to Bray's legacy? Yeah, 100% it's going to happen. But yeah,
remember Bray was released as well. So
yeah, no, for sure. So I'm not feeling this, and I think the thing is they're taking out the entire tag division. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's just I feel like it's making the Street Profits look weak. Yeah, making them look weak, and making the DIY look weak, and Motor City Machine Guns look weak. And it's just, are they all going to team up together to take on the Wyatt Six? Because there's 6 of them, and there's 6 of the Wyatt Six. So is that how it's going to work? Like, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't like it.
Well, either way, and also we got to stop with the scary looks. Like every single time, like Montez and them are like, oh my god, like they're like, you're not afraid of Odell. Like, stop. We need to stop with that. If you're just gonna make them a crew, make them a crew. Something are you impressed with? Let me know. Damian Priest cut out a promo, and it kind of took a weird turn. He, I guess, is over trying to be the big dog of SmackDown, and now he wants to be the middle dog, and he wants that US title. Let's talk about it. What'd you think about this promo and everything building up to it?
I feel like he got a good pop. I feel like the crowd is still into Damian Priest. I think he's doing his thing. I think he's doing all right. I'm not worried about Damian Priest. I don't mind him talking like wanting to go after the US title because Jacob Fatu needs opponents. Solo Sikoa needs opponents. The Bloodline 2.0 needs someone to go after. Drew McIntyre's not on TV for the foreseeable future. Rumor has it he's out injured. Jey Uso right now is busy with the World Heavyweight title. John Cena's on SmackDown, but he's too busy with Cody Rhodes and Logan Paul. So the world title picture right now is pretty chaotic, and he's not in Money in the Bank. So give him something to do, and I think the U.S. title is perfect for Damian Priest. It keeps him on TV, and I think it keeps him relevant. So I dug this promo, and I appreciate the crowd for giving him the opportunity to speak without doing the annoying, stupid what chants, which we got on Raw, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, we got a lot of chants on Raw. Yeah, I liked it too, and I think U.S. title, Intercontinental title, like these secondary titles used to mean something, and it used to be big stars. It would be the upcoming stars who are next up for the world championship, or world champions who aren't in the spotlight, anymore, who are now going for those titles. I mean, they got to feel important. It can't just be Joe Schmo holding the belt and no one ever hears about it or it's never defended. So I like that Damian Priest wants it. He just beat Drew McIntyre. He was a champion less than a year ago. He's done his work. He's I think a top star now. So yeah, and him and Jacob Fatu, hell yeah, sign me up, man. That's going to be a banger after banger after banger. So I'm all on board. Yeah, Damian Priest, I was all for it. And I thought it was a really good promo. I mean, he talked about his street fighting days and stuff, but I even like how he, talked about Drew McIntyre. Yeah, he might be gone for a little bit, but I still hate him. Like, I just liked it all. Thought it was really well done. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, Damian Priest is someone who is sneakily getting better and better with everything that he does. He's great in the ring, but his mic skills have improved significantly as well.
I agree. Well, in my best moment of the week in WWE, to be honest with you, minus a certain debut in NXT, Cody Rhodes, Jey Uso, John Cena, and Logan Paul had a promo, and a lot of people shout on it. Maybe you will, but I enjoyed it. I'll let you go first to see if you're on the same page and how I felt everyone delivered. But I was eating my popcorn and enjoying the show. I thought it was really well done. Go ahead, Ryan.
I liked it. I thought it was good. I thought it went by quickly, because next thing you know, I'm like, oh, it's already over, and feels like they had to rush to the ending of it.
Mine was cut off, just so you know.
Oh yeah, mine cut off
because I recorded. It went over time. I didn't get to see it all. I had to go back and find it.
Yeah, mine cut. Yeah, though it ended with Logan Paul saying, "Come get some. You want some? Come get some." But I liked all of it, minus Jey Uso, who only had one line in that entire promo. We got to hear from Cody Rhodes, who talked about what he was doing post WrestleMania. We got to hear from John Cena, where he called Cody and Jey John Cena wannabes, which we've been calling Cody Rhodes a John Cena wannabe for a while now, and now he's doing it. And he said that Jey Uso is lazy, and Cody Rhodes just wants his fame, and Jey Uso wants his money. And then he put over Logan Paul. He was like, there's a guy that embodies hustle, loyalty, and respect. And it was a great way to get heat. And I think this was one of my favorite John Cena heel promos that we've had since he's gone to the dark side. The only thing I didn't like was, can we and we'll CM Punk did this on Raw too, but can we stop talking about The Rock? Like, is he coming back? Is he not? Because Cody Rhodes was like, oh, I thought about the final boss and how I wanted to sell my soul, and that offer apparently still stands, even though the answer is no. And it was like, can we not mention him? Like, unless he's coming back for sure, can we just move on? Because we're supposed to have Travis Scott coming back, but we've moved on from that apparently. So that was my only gripe. But other than that, I didn't mind this promo at all. I thought it was a good way to get us hyped for the tag team match.
Yeah, and I'm really tired of people saying that Logan Paul can't get a promo. I mean, I thought he hung with all three of them really, really well. Not counting Jey, because Jey didn't really talk. And we can get into Jey on Raw or on our predictions about, basically all he does is sit there with a confused look on his face and grunt.
Yeah, I know.
What a champion. Yeah. What a champ. And that's all he says, yeah. Or this time he says 3 letters. But no, I thought it was fantastic. And I stated as soon as Cena said he was going to team up with Logan Paul, I was like, best idea you can do, because you didn't hear no, let's go Cena sucks chance this week, huh? Because they were booing the shit out of him. Why? Because they paired him up with the most hated man in all of WWE, Logan Paul, the biggest heel. And they had him vouch for him, support him, say he's better than all of them, saying that he's paying for Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso's contracts because he makes all the damn money. Basically saying that without Logan Paul, there is no WWE. The dude was straight money with it. Cena cut a phenomenal promo, and it got the heat that it needed. And we'll get into predictions on who we think is going to win or not. But nonetheless, it was just really, really good stuff. Even Cody cut good promo. It was a great back and forth. I enjoyed it. I'm all for it. I'm not mad like Rikishi about Jey being in a tag team match at Money in the Bank. I didn't know you had to have championship matches at Money. I didn't think that was a freaking thing. I don't know why we're complaining. He's literally being paired up with the most over popular wrestler in Logan Paul in the sense of eyeballs on the screen, John Cena, the supposed GOAT and current champion, and Cody Rhodes, the face of WWE, and you're complaining?
Yeah.
That's eyeballs.
Meanwhile,
like, what?
Meanwhile, Jimmy is over here like, I'm not even on the card, Dad. Like, can you like?
Oh,
why
he
are you
doesn't
complaining
like
about
Jimmy.
Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. You can tell
he's
him.
complained about Jay before, and I'm like,
Mhm.
but your other son's like not even there. Solo's not even doing it. Like, yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah. I don't get why
He
he
constantly complains. But yeah, but I thought it was a fantastic promo, great way to close SmackDown, and I think it brought the heat. And we'll see what happens on Friday night. Again, I'm assuming they're all going to be there. So I even like that. Like, Cody brought out Jay, and John Cena was like, "Oh, I have somebody to bring out too." You know what I mean? I just liked it all. Like, I thought it was really
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It was a good way to end the show for sure.
Yep. All right, let's get into some Monday Night Raw. And we opened up with one CM Punk saying the same stuff he always says. And then Sami Zayn came out and does the same thing he always does. I'm the good guy and I'm rooting for everybody, blah, 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 blah. But let's cut into it, right? This whole thing is leading to Sami Zayn's heel turn, right? I mean, we just gotta, I get that everybody's like mad about it, but that's what you have to do, right? To turn him heel, you have to fully make him unbearably babyface so the heel turn feels more impactful and it feels like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that. And then you go back and say that's why he was doing it, right? I mean, him turning heel can lead to him with CM Punk matches, Jey Uso matches. I mean, he can face anybody because he's turning basically on the entire Monday Night Raw. I mean, count me in. I like it. I get that it's the same old, same old. Last week CM Punk opened or whatever, or last week someone and Sami Zayn came out, and I get it. And but I think it's all for a reason. It's telling stories. And I just think in the TikTok social media era, we don't have the time and the patience to build stories anymore. And I think that's why all these young people love AEW so much, because it's just a super fast, jam-packed show and there's no build or anything. So that's what people want, right? They don't want what's going to happen tomorrow. They want what's going to happen today. But I like it. And this is old school wrestling at its finest, in my opinion.
Yeah, no.
Unless they don't turn them. But I think they are. I think.
Yeah. But the thing about this, though, is Triple H has a tendency to drag things out a little too long. Like the New Day probably should have turned heel 3 or 4 months before they did. Austin Theory should have already turned on Grayson Waller by now, and he hasn't. So it's just kind of like eventually people are going to stop caring. So I feel like he has to strike while the iron's hot if you're going to turn Sami Zayn heel. Because if you do it, like, now is the perfect time. Like, do it within the next couple of weeks. Otherwise, people are going to you think they're losing interest now. Wait until we get to SummerSlam and we're having the same old story. What's Karrion Kross doing with Sami Zayn? Oh, I'm a good guy, Karrion, I promise. People are going to be pissed. So Triple H needs to pull the trigger and strike while the iron's hot and go ahead and turn Sami Zayn heel sooner rather than later. It's going to help Sami. It's going to help the rest of the WWE.
For sure. Yeah.
And I think it's not a matter of if he turns heel, it's how and when. How does he turn heel? Does he align with Karrion Kross? Does he join Seth Rollins' group? Does he just go off on his own and kind of take on the Kevin Owens gimmick that he had before he got hurt and kind of carry that going? What does he turn on Jey Uso? Does he turn on CM Punk? There's so many different ways that he can do this. And that's what has me intrigued. So they got to strike. They can't just sit around on their thumbs and drag this out.
Oh yeah, they can't. But Karrion Kross, no one ever joins him. But he's the puppet master for a reason, man. He predicts every single time he talks to somebody, they turn heel. Sami Zayn's going to be no different, So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm digging it, though. I want to see more.
Me too. All right, something people didn't dig, but you did, and you want to talk about it. That's one Roxanne Perez helping the Judgment Day. It was another Judgment Day filled episode, but we were missing some people. Go ahead, Ryan. Let us know what was going on with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, Carlito was gone, and it made me sad. They didn't even reference him. He was just not there, and the TV was gone. So no more. I guess no more.
That's how
Xbox.
they referenced him, right? I think that's how they referenced him, right? That he took his stuff and went home. Yeah,
I guess, but the Judgment Day. Liv Morgan took a loss, and then she had a backstage skirmish with Roxanne Perez, where Liv Morgan basically told her off and told her to stay out of her way. And then Roxanne Perez helped Finn Balor and JD McDonough beat, was it the War Raiders that they wrestled? Yeah, the War Raiders. And they got a huge win with the New Day on commentary. So hopefully we're getting Judgment Day versus New Day for the tag team titles here shortly, because I think that would really help both groups. And I think that will help Finn, that will help JD, that'll help the New Day really get heat on all of them. So I'm digging that. But then Raquel Rodriguez took a loss to Kairi Sane. So it was an up and down week for the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
More downs than ups. They only had one win. They lost Carlito. Liv Morgan took an L, didn't qualify for Money in the Bank. And then Roxanne Perez is doing her thing. So yeah, I don't mind it. I think it's adding some interesting layers to the story, but it is very, very repetitive of what they did last year on the road to SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's the same exact thing. That's why I'm okay with the Roxanne or Raquel and Liv taking an L, because that's building to the not trusting Liv Morgan of Raquel Rodriguez anymore, and the breakup, which I think is going to end up being Daddy Dom and Liv becoming baby faces and moving on.
It should.
Judgment Day staying evil with Roxanne and so on. Or maybe they're just breaking up altogether now with Carlito gone. Who knows? But I did like Finn Balor winning. It's about damn time. Anytime he wins, it's a win. If you know what I mean, it's a plus. And JD looked good too. So yeah, I was all for that. But we'll see. I just feel like we're talking about the same thing every week with the Judgment Day, and I want to see a progression more so than just a slow build, as you say Triple H likes to do. So we gotta. It's been building for. I mean, Finn Balor was bitching before Rhea and Damian left. He was already like he's like been the same. We gotta. Unless that's just his character, I don't know. But yeah, I'm getting kind of bored of it. Let's get into another thing. We had one Lyra, Valkyria, and Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch cut like a pre-done promo, and then they had a face-to-face. It got personal and so on, and Becky Lynch really, really, really wants her hand raised. Damn, she really does. My thing with this, though, is that I thought Lyra looked a little lost again. I feel like Becky, I get, is like the best to do it, right? And I know people said she wasn't, but she is. Promo-wise, she's the best to do it in the female division. Yeah. Maybe ever. And I get that it's hard to hang, and I feel like Becky had to like dumb it down a couple of times too. But Lyra was looking a little lost, a little out of place. And I think sometimes that's what happens when you get these young up-and-comers going up against these vets, is that if they're not truly ready, it can expose them and make them look a little weaker. And I do think Lyra looked a little weak in this back. It didn't seem like somebody who was going to win on Money in the Bank on Saturday. I'll tell you that much. She looked a little lost, and Becky delivered it hard, like always. I truly enjoy. I liked everything about the fact that like you're in a lose-lose situation, because if I beat you, you lose the title. If you beat me, then I'm not here to carry your ass anymore, because all your big moments are because of me. I did like that, and I liked the little cockiness of Becky Lynch towards her friend, or former friend, Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Lyra certainly looked lost out there. And I don't think the crowd really helped either. I think the what chants kind of threw her off a little bit. Yep. I think she responded to them as best as she could. But we got to stop it. Like, why are we doing the what chants to baby faces? Why are we doing them at all, number one? But especially to a baby face. I don't understand that. It's so stupid. Can we just stop doing that? They're dumb and annoying. Also, I think, like, but you're right. Like, Lyra did look very, very lost. Like, she called Becky Lynch out to the ring, and then Becky Lynch was like, "Okay, what do you want?" And Lyra was like, "I'm speaking." And Becky was like, "But you called me out here." Like, it was just very, like, that whole exchange was very strange and very weird. But yeah, I think Lyra didn't look like a person that's going to retain that title on Saturday. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they'll surprise us with something, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. That's funny that you brought that up, that she called her out and then like fumbled her words. And I never know if that's like Becky Lynch going off cuff, if she was like said that and then Lyra was like, but the what chance, you're 100% right. And I hate when I've made posts about how I hate hijacking, and people are like, "Oh, that's the point. It's like theater. You're supposed." No, when you go to a play, you don't hijack Hamilton. Like, you don't like enjoy the show, because why are you purposely trying to make these people fumble the words? Because it makes them look bad. It ruins the story they're trying to tell. I don't get it. You cheer, you boo, you yeet, whatever you're being told to do and you shut up. You're not there to hijack. No one gives two shits about you. No one cares that you're doing fake reactions in the crowd for 45 minutes in hopes that they show you on TV because I want to be all eye news or whatever he is. Like, oh, look at me. Is the camera on me? No, keep doing it. Okay, they did until someone sees me. It's so dumb. Like, you don't need to hide. The show's not about you guys. Stop. The show's about the wrestlers and the performers. Just go to the place and enjoy it. And the end.
And why do you choose, like, they pick and choose when to do it too? That's the other, like, they don't do it for CM Punk. They didn't do it for anyone else that cut an in-ring promo. They didn't do it for Jey Uso. They didn't do it for Sami Zayn. They chose the up-and-coming female to do it to. And that's what makes me mad.
Yeah, agreed. All right, well, something else that made people mad this week. Somebody qualified for the Money in the Bank to close out the show, Ryan. I'll let you start off with it. One El Grande Americano. Yes, the Starbucks drink himself qualified for the Money in the Bank. What say you?
I don't mind that he qualified. It's more of how he qualified with all of us. Like, it was a headbutt that took AJ Styles out. And I'm like, you kicked out of attitude adjustments. You've kicked out of F5s. You've kicked out of all kinds of finishers, spears and Superman punches. But I guess ring steel steps had him scared off from Cody Rhodes. So maybe a headbutt shouldn't really surprise me. But it was like, oh, okay, that's the end of the match. All right, well, great. I'm happy El Grande Americano won. I don't understand why people are so outraged by it. I think it's, if CM Punk was in the match, people would be critical. Oh, it's too predictable. They're giving it to CM Punk or Seth Rollins. This adds a layer of unpredictability to it. And how long have we been asking for Chad Gable to be pushed? How long have we been clamoring for him to finally get over the hump and get the respect that he so-called deserves? Now, you could argue, should he be getting the respect as Chad Gable or should he be getting it in this gimmick? But either way, he's got a WrestleMania match with this gimmick. Now he's in the Money in the Bank ladder match. So it's obviously working. And WWE's digging it, and it's helping his career in the long run. Assuming they're the same person, we're still not really 100% sure on that. But if they are, he was wearing CG boots. But Chad Gable said he let him borrow them, and he likes this guy. So
stretched him out.
He stretched him out. I know.
Boots. What the heck? Oh.
Yeah, but also when we get into predictions, I think there's more to it than this. I think there's a reason they allowed him to qualify, and we'll talk about it when we get into predictions. But I don't understand why people were so outraged by it. I didn't like the way that the match just abruptly ended. But other than that, it was fine.
I mean, I enjoyed the way it ended only because the fact that they checked beforehand and he somehow, like, in the background of the shot was, like, stuffing it in his mask before he headbutted AJ Styles. I mean, that's his thing, so it is what it is. I'm just so tired because people were so mad that Rhea Ripley made the Money in the Bank qualifying match for the women's side because she's a vet and they need to give it to the young people. And here we go again. And then CM Punk or AJ Styles, who definitely aren't young in any way, shape, or form. No. They're so mad that they got it, although they want Chad Gable's push. And we got to stop too with that. I heard you. I mean, I get what you're saying. Like, oh, it should be as Chad. Why? Why should it? I don't care if his name is Donkey Boy Donkey. It's him. Yeah. If he's going to get pushed, that'd be like when Mariah May or whatever comes NXT, and if she debuts not as Mariah May, we're like, well, that's not. It's her. She's getting paid. She's getting the recognition. Who cares about her name? I don't care if her name is Dumb McGee. It is what it is, right? And that's what's going to get her over. The guy's name is El Grande Americano. He's a Starbucks drink. It's hilarious. He's doing fantastic with it, and that's how he gets pushed. Then that's how he gets pushed. Let it be.
Yeah.
I don't care if he's a world champion as it. Chad Gable's still getting the recognition he deserves. It is what it is. So
yeah, again, we still don't know if they're two different people. So
they are two different people. Yeah, but so maybe Chad Gable. Well, Chad Gable's fighting for the AAA title or something, right? There's some recognition. All right. Let's get into NXT and get it out of the way. Somebody debuted, Ryan. You saw it before I did. You told me I was going to enjoy it. I predicted it was Mandy Rose. I was wrong, but Mariah May was my second one. So who was it? Who debuted? Go ahead.
It was none other than the Glamour. we don't know her name. They specifically did not say her name, but it was Mariah May from AEW, who had her Hollywood ending in which is funny that they're going back to Hollywood this weekend. But she had her Hollywood ending at AEW Revolution on March the 9th, and in a great match with Toni Storm, and just fantastic feud and a fantastic rivalry. I didn't hear any Tony fumble chants last night on NXT because
weird.
He's he certainly did not fumble one Mariah May. But this kind of came out of it didn't come out of the blue. I think we kind of maybe expected it, but I just didn't expect it to happen so soon. But the lights went off in the arena, and she came out and was in the crowd somewhere in like a balcony seat, and said that she wants the NXT Women's Championship, and she's here. And now she's been tweeting all over X that she's finally home. She's been a WWE fan. She started off as like a WWE influencer for a while, and then she grew into professional wrestling, started her career in Stardom. Then she went to AEW, but then now she is in WWE, in NXT. And I think we talked about this last week, but we were so shocked that JC Jane beat Stephanie Vaquer after you'd been building Stephanie Vaquer up as like the face of NXT. And then we said, well, maybe they're getting ready for the debut of Mariah May. And that's exactly what they did. So I'm excited to have her in WWE. I'm sad to see her leave AEW, but I am happy to have her in NXT. I think she's going to kill it.
And we had just said that if she's not going to be in AEW, the only thing that makes sense is NXT, because she will get lost in SmackDown and Raw. She will not get lost on NXT. I'm glad they didn't do what they did with Ricky Starks, where they called him Ricky Starks on TV, and then oopsies, he's not Ricky Starks, because they didn't say his name, but the announcers did, and they fumbled that. So this time they just kept their mouth shut. Name change, I mean, obviously, I'm assuming it's going to happen if they didn't say it, or maybe they're trying to decide whether or not they should. I think Mariah May is a fantastic name. I hope
it's a great name.
But if it changes, it doesn't really matter. Like I said, they can call her Barbie McDummington, and I will still support her. And it is what they can call her, Gunther, for all I care. But I do have to give her major props, because Mariah May, I didn't know she was an influencer at one point. Congrats to her. We can make it. But I like that she is like every other wrestler, except she's not fake as shit, right? Like, she realized, hey, WWE is my dream. I don't know what's going to happen in my AEW career, so I can be a big fish in a small pond, or I can go to NXT and build myself up, because I know this is the best place to be if you want to hit the highest level of professional wrestling. She's not in denial like MJF, where he took the gamble and stayed in AEW and hopes he can still make WWE one day. She's not a delusional idiot like Will Ospreay, who wanted to go to WWE and was not welcome to WWE. So now he pretends like he never had anything to do with it. I don't care what anybody says. You can be all these dumb AEW fanboys on the internet who pretend like AEW is better than WWE. It's not. You can say you like it more, and you can say they have better shows, but it's not bigger, better, or anything. The WWE is the pinnacle. And if you are a pro wrestler, believe you me, ask anybody, if they are going to be welcomed into WWE, they will take it. Everybody wants a WrestleMania moment. That's like saying Kurt Warner would have loved to stay in the freaking Arena Football League because he was shining. He wanted nothing to do with the NFL. That's where you sell out. That's garbage. No, he wanted to go to the NFL and have a Super Bowl moment. People, you live to do that as a professional. Just like back in the days at UFC and Pride, where people are like, Pride fighters don't want to go to UFC. Yes, they do. The UFC is the biggest show. The end. It is what it is. At MMA, if you want to be a mixed martial artist, you want to go there. So I'm glad Mariah May didn't stay phony, stay true to herself, and is calling. She's like, this is where I wanted to go. Same thing with Cody. Cody went and branched off, and he's like, no, I want a WrestleMania. I'm a professional wrestler. I want to hit the pinnacle. WWE is the pinnacle. So we need to stop pretending like it's not.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I think it's. I mean, this is what she wanted. I mean, there's pictures of her all over Instagram before AEW was even a thing, of her like outside of WrestleMania and going to WrestleMania events. And she made no bones about it, that this was her dream, and now she gets to live it. So shout out to her. And the other thing too, that I think people are forgetting, is she's only 26. So let's say for whatever reason TKO continues down the path that they're on, and for whatever reason it doesn't work out, or she goes to the main roster and she doesn't mesh well with Triple H, because Triple H he doesn't have the best track record with NXT call-ups, which is very ironic because of with Vince McMahon. But she can always go back to AEW and she'll still have the prime of her career if she wants to. She may not want to, but if it's around, but it will be. It'll be around for a while. But she always has that. She has that opportunity. She's only 26. It's not like she's in her 30s and approaching the tail end of her career. Like this could be something that she could go back to in the future.
And believe it or not, she'll be a bigger star when she goes back because she was in WWE. So, yeah. I'm just sick of these fake narratives. It just drives me nuts. And a perfect example of people who want to be in WWE because it's the biggest show. Trick Williams defeated one Mike Santana to defend the Trick NA Championship title. And in that moment, we had a couple fired employees. Ryan, you want to talk about it? So these guys are fired from WWE. Now they're in TNA. And Shawn Michaels was like, yo, you guys want to appear? And they're like, yes, please, because everybody wants to be in the WWE. Talk about Ryan. Who was it? Who appeared to help Trick Williams or hurt and help?
It was one AJ Francis, formerly known as Top Dollar from Hit Row, who was with Swerve Strickland and that group. He showed up on NXT and screwed over Mike Santana. And then in the crowd was my man, Elias, formerly known as Elias. He had he had a little brother, Ezekiel. I don't know if everyone remembers him, but they were two different peoples. Clearly, just like Chad Gable and El Grande Americano were two different people. Max. And he's now known as Elijah on TNA. But Trick Williams grabbed his guitar, and so now they're setting up a feud between Trick and Elijah for the world title at TNA Against All Odds, which is sometime either this week or next week. And so we got AJ Francis. KC Navarro is with AJ Francis. I don't know if he was in WWE before, but and Elias. So yeah, we had a lot of ex-WWE stars coming back to NXT where their career started to get their exposure and help Trick Williams.
Weird, huh? Weird. It's like because I'm sure they afterwards were like, I don't need to be in WWE. I could be great independently. And Bob, no, you want to be in WWE. There was a recent interview with one Zack Ryder who talked about that. And he said, when you get fired from the WWE, you can do multiple. He named like 3 things, right? And one of them was to live off your name. Like the WWE is the biggest show. So don't try to be something else. Don't live off of that. Be that person. Go to things that promote yourself as former WWE star. It's going to work in your advantage. Why not? Like, why would you not want to utilize that? I'm so tired of just people pretending. Like, I guarantee AJ Francis was like, yes, please. He might even have brought it up. Yo, I'm in a gimmick right now. Can I come in and help him win, please? Like, he was probably all on board. Like, let me show out so hopefully I can go back to the WWE one day. That poor guy tried to do a rope drop, ate it, became an internet sensation where all these, influencers were defending him because he was also an influencer at one point. And they fired him after that, didn't they? They were like, bro, you're out.
Not too long after that. Yeah.
Poor guy. Yeah.
Michael Cole was making fun of him. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Michael Cole can't make fun of anybody, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, and can we stop with the glazing of the NBA Finals on WWE television? I mean, they had too many segments and too much time dedicated to the Knicks and the Pacers. And I know they're selling shirts and merch and stuff, and the whole bet between Pat McAfee and Michael Cole, like, do we really need to do all that? It's just, I don't know.
No, we don't.
It just took time away from the show for me.
Yeah, 100%. Announcers don't need to be part of the show. I'm so sick of Pat McAfee. It fucking hurts my brain. But anyway, that was our AEW, because we were talking about AEW. WWE Week in Review. It was good stuff. I thought all 3 shows were good. They all had their highs and their lows. And I'm so glad to see one not Mariah May appear. And I'm looking forward to seeing her beat JC Jane. And the future's bright. And that NXT women's division is by far the most talented women's division in all of pro wrestling. Even without Stephanie McCare and Julia, who moved on and instantly got roles on the big show. That division is freaking stacked. The end.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, it's that time of the week again. I feel like every week now we are doing predictions. There is a PLE or a pay-per-view like nonstop, and we got one Money in the Bank. Currently only has 4 matches. Hopefully it'll get more. Yeah. But let's get into
$800. They better add more to it. So
yeah.
We all know what time it is.
It's prediction time. Before it ever happens, it's a prediction. Lean in close, take notes, listen. Cause they about to point it out quickly. All the things that you didn't see is getting called like plays at the line of scrimmage. You can take it to the bank, the dudes ain't tripping. They've been seeing what's coming for a good minute. It's prediction time, yeah, let's get it.
All right, after that blazing song, we're about to get into it. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's $300 if you want to sit in the very, very highest nosebleed section. It's about $800 to sit anywhere else, whether other than ringside. It is ridiculous. I mean,
That's
TKO is TKO. I knew this was going to happen, but I'll probably never go to a WWE event again. I never missed LA. Whenever they came to my town, I went to AEW, WWE. Now I'll only be going to AEW. So
yeah.
WWE
That's
is
200.
that day.
It's $200 a match. Like if you think about it, like that's $200 per match to watch Money in the Bank, and that's not including food. That's not including concessions and merch or anything. Or tickets to get out there. Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, are we going to get another match? What would be the 5th match? Let's try to predict it. What would be? There has to be 5 matches.
Yeah, I could see they're adding like Zelina Vega versus Chelsea Green again, or one of those matches.
No
or
way.
Maybe like Alba Fire or Piper Niven against Zelina. I could see them adding the Wyatt Sick6 versus a tag team from SmackDown. But yeah, that's really the only 2 I can think of.
There has to be. I think the SmackDown title should be defended in some way, whether it's a 4-way or one-on-one. But they got gypped off last time, and they added in the New Day at the PLE instead of them. So, yeah, I think the Street Profits have earned that respect. I think they would be a nice addition to Money in the Bank. But with that said, let's get into it, man. I think these are some pretty hard predictions in these ladder matches. Let's discuss. All right, the women's match, as you can see, it is one Alexa Bliss versus Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer for the women's Money in the Bank match. Who do you got?
I think this is the hardest one to predict of all of them.
Right?
Because you could give it to Roxanne Perez and strap the rocket to her. You could give it to Julia and strap the rocket to her. You could give it to Stephanie Vaquer and strap the rocket to her. You could give it to Rhea Ripley and have her, that's how she gets her title match, her rematch with Io Sky. You can give it to Alexa Bliss and finally have her doing something meaningful since she's been back. But I think the person that's been doing the best character work and the person that deserves it the most, in my opinion, that's never won it, and she's been in this match several times, and it's Naomi. And I'm going to say that Naomi is going to somehow, some way be the one to climb the ladder and win her first Money in the Bank briefcase. If she was a babyface, imagine all the cool things they could do with that briefcase if she had it. They could make it glow. They could make it all these cool things, and I think they're going to capitalize on it. But Naomi's going to win Money in the Bank, and then she'll cash in on Tiffany, and then somehow we'll get Bianca versus Jade versus Naomi in a triple threat later on this year, maybe even at SummerSlam.
Yeah. So both of these are super hard to predict, the men's and women's, for different reasons, though. The women's, right? Stephanie Vaquer and Julia, brand new, just got here along with Roxanne Perez. All NXT come-ups, all former world champions in NXT. Giving it to one of them makes sense, and I think it 100% could happen. Alexa Bliss, she was at Elimination Chamber. I predicted her to win. I thought we were going that route. Her winning the Money in the Bank makes sense. She's joining the Wyatt Sick6 possibly. Maybe that helps them. Alexa Bliss deserves that respect. Rhea Ripley, she's literally the only person here trying to face off against a champion that nobody even knows exists, and one Io Sky. I don't know if you know, but she is the champion. So Rhea Ripley, but she doesn't need it. Mommy in the Bank sounds cute. It'd be fun on a briefcase. Naomi, though, I'm with you, man. And I'm hoping Bianca Belair helps her win, but I am going with one Naomi. I think she's red hot right now. That women's division is way more hotter than the Raw one with Io Sky. She's in the picture right now. Why not let her have Bianca and Jade and Tiffany all battle it out with Nia Jax and figure it out while she sits there with the briefcase waiting to call her shot? I think she can run with that gimmick as a heel so well and pretend to cash in and talk all the shit she wants. Yeah, I think Naomi, she was red hot in TNA. They signed the hottest she'd ever been. She signed with WWE, and they kind of just did her dirty, and now they're finally giving her respect. Why not continue that run? Yeah, so I'm going to go with Naomi. But I could see literally any of them winning.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be mad at any of them.
Yeah, I think Roxanne's the least likely. And then I think after that's Alexa Bliss, then Stephanie Vaquer and Julia somewhere in there, followed by Rhea and then Naomi. But if I'm doing odds, but yeah, I think Naomi should win it for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
All right, what's next? Woo! I think this is a hard one to predict too. Maybe you don't, but we got two champions on each side. We got one Logan Paul and John Cena versus Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso for bragging rights, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, but the last time is now, my friend. Who do you got?
I could also see this match main eventing and closing the show because you have the men's Money in the Bank. You have both champions, so you could tease like, oh, could they cash in tonight? They're both in the ring together, so I could see that. But they seem hell bent on Jey Uso versus Gunther on Raw. They've been teasing it, so I think this match is going to start before that. But yeah, I'm going with John Cena and Logan Paul. I think John Cena and Logan Paul are gonna win. I think John Cena is gonna continue to have. He's gonna think that he has Cody Rhodes' number. He beat Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. He's gonna pin Cody Rhodes here, and it's gonna make Cody Rhodes start doubting himself about whether he's the true guy that can save pro wrestling from John Cena. So I think John Cena and Logan Paul get the victory here.
I fully agree. I think it has to be them. And I think Jey Uso gets pinned. And I think that's going to put the doubt in everybody's eyes to help sell that Monday Night Raw matchup that Jey Uso is obviously going to win because they ain't going to change the hands on Monday Night Raw. I think that's going to put the doubt in. Gunther said it on Monday Night Raw that basically, you're too worried about everybody else and your friends. You're not worried about the championship. I think once again, we're doubting Jey Uso. He's the underdog, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, so I'm going to go with John Cena and Logan Paul for sure. I say John Cena pins Jey Uso. Why not? Let's have some fun with it.
I could see that. He eliminated from the Rumble, so it would make sense.
Yeah, I say run with it. All right, next up, I think the only match that's pretty much guaranteed, and that's one Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Who do you got?
I don't think this one's as easy as you think.
Okay.
Because I could see Bayley coming back and costing Becky Lynch the championship and allowing Lyra Valkyria to win. But I think Becky Lynch is going to win. I think Becky Lynch is going to win, solidify herself as the Grand Slam champion in WWE, and put her name on the GOAT list for sure, because she'll have held every single title in WWE. And maybe Bayley comes back on the Raw after or sometime before SummerSlam, and that's how Lyra gets the title back. But Becky Lynch is winning.
Yeah, I think if she wasn't already picked to win, I think after this past week on Raw, it's solidified that Lyra just isn't ready yet to be there. She needs to work up more. And she doesn't always have to be. I feel like every time she's just appeared, she's the champion out of nowhere. When she beat Becky the first time for the women's NXT, I don't think she was ready for it. I don't think she's ready for this either. So I think Becky Lynch will win. I think people will be mad and call her Becky Hogan and sound ignorant.
Oh, 100% they will.
100%. Yeah. But I think it's best for business. And I think it, once again, secondary title doesn't always have to be up and comers. It needs to be that person who's next up to be a world champion. That's Becky Lynch. And whether she drops it again to Lyra later, or maybe she drops it to Bayley or anybody else, the world is just going to get, I think, a lot more better for the women's division with Becky Lynch as the champ. So I hope she joins Seth right afterwards.
Yeah, I hope so too.
All right, speaking of Seth, here we are, the men's Money in the Bank, which I said is super hard to predict for opposite reasons. I think we have one outlier like we do in the women's division, and everybody else has a chance. But we got one Solo Sikoa versus LA Knight versus Penta, I'll drop you on your neck, versus Seth Rollins versus Andrade versus El Grande Americano himself. Who do you got?
Oh, man. My heart is telling me it's Seth Rollins, but I feel like CM Punk is going to cost him the match. I feel like Roman Reigns could potentially, it's in Hollywood, could come in and cost him the match. So I could see that. I think what I was saying earlier, I think Penta and El Grande Americano are going to have a moment to where Penta finally unmasks El Grande Americano and it'll be revealed that he is Chad Gable. And then Adam Pearce will disqualify him since he technically lost the Money in the Bank qualifying match. And so El Grande will be out of the match that way. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to give it to Solo Sikoa. I think he is long overdue for a victory. They want to tease him versus Jacob Fatu. You can cash in the Money in the Bank on a secondary championship. He could cash in on Solo, or he could cash in on Jacob when Jacob least expects it. And this could further that divide between Solo and Jacob. So I'm going to give it to Solo Sikoa. You could also have him potentially tease a cash in on his brother Jay. You could have him tease a cash in on John Cena, or if John Cena loses to Cody Rhodes, he could cash in on Cody, and we could revisit that whole thing. But I think Solo Sikoa is long overdue for a victory.
Oh man, I swear, everybody who listens, we did not plan this. This is pretty scary, actually. So if we're gonna break it down, right? Automatically, Andrade has no chance. I don't even know why he's in the damn match. So let's just
because
get
they hate Carmelo Hayes. Yeah,
yeah. I guess yeah. Well, Triple H is racist, you know. So that's sarcasm, people. Seth Rollins is the obvious choice, right? He's the only one out of the 6 that looks like he can win the Money in the Bank and actually cash it in, right? Not going to happen. That's why CM Punk didn't. So Grande Americano's in it because CM Punk shouldn't have been in it because Seth cost Punk. Now Punk's going to cost Seth. After that, if Roman Reigns wants to come out, everybody's predicting because probably Sean Ross Sapp or Dave Meltzer said it, so everyone thinks it's a fact that he's going to come out. Maybe Goldberg will come out too against Gunther, right? Isn't that what else is happening, you know, when you listen to the dirt sheets? But yeah, I think Seth is out. So with that said, El Grande Americano could win it. You could give it to him and you can be hopeful that in a year he'll be ready and to cash it in. Penta's over, right? I mean, he can do it. LA Knight, it's like his 18th Money in the Bank in a row. He's always predicted to win, so him winning it makes sense. But I agree with you. I think the obvious choice is one Solo Sikoa, and here's why. Number one, no one's cashing in on John Cena. So let's just get that out of there. So that's not happening. So none of these guys can cash in on Cena. So that leaves one Jey Uso. I'm also going to say nobody's going to cash in on Jey Uso. I don't think it's a big enough moment to cash in on Jey Uso. I don't think it's going to feel that great. Jey Uso could literally lose to anybody on any given night. He's not the champion who's threatened. He's the underdog champion. So why would somebody cash in on him to cheat to kind of get there? So I think the only way to happen is that it's going to be cash in on a secondary title. I see Solo Sikoa winning it, pretending I'm going to cash it on Jay. I'm going to cash in. I owe him that. He's been dissing me. I try to get him in, this and that. And boom, he's going to cash it in on one Jacob Fatu for the US Championship. I think this is building more for it. And if I'm wrong, then Triple H, you're wrong. That's the only way to book this damn thing. I'm saying, I'm not going to say he's going to cash in successfully, but nonetheless, I think that's what's going to happen. I think Solo wins, and we get the threats of Jay throughout a couple months when he finally cashes in on Jacob Fatu and breaks them up for good.
Yeah. No, I fully agree. I think that's the only logical outcome from this whole thing. So we'll see what happens. And I think Monday Night Raw, Jey Uso retains over Gunther, and that's when Sami Zayn turns heel. That's when Sami turns. He's going to come out and celebrate and then low blow him, and we get Jey Uso versus Sami Zayn.
And that's what I mean. That's why I don't think any of these guys are going to cash in on either champion. I just don't think it makes sense.
There's too many stories.
Yes, sir. There is. But like we said, both ones, I can see almost everybody other than Andrade and Roxanne Perez. Truly, I can see any of these people winning the Money in the Bank. So I am intrigued. I do like that. But yeah, that was our predictions. Take them to the bank. We agreed on every single one. That was weird. We didn't even plan. I thought we were going to miss out on the Money in the Bank ones, but we didn't. We had the same thoughts. All right. So maybe they're not that outlier.
We'll see.
It's pretty obvious, right? All right. Well, let's get into it. Every week we do LVD and MVD of the week, where we pick our least and most valuable dude or dudette of the week of WWE. Doesn't mean we hate them. It just means they were the worst booked or the best booked. What say you? Who was your LVD?
You know, I'm going to give it to Jey Uso. I feel like he had one line in that promo on SmackDown, and then he said one line on Monday Night Raw. He is the World Heavyweight Champion right now, but he feels so unimportant. And I know that there's a lot of people gunning for him, like Seth Rollins is gunning for him. CM Punk wants a shot, where he's feuding with Logan Paul and John Cena right now. He's got Cody Rhodes in his corner. But Gunther wants him, but he just also at the same time just feels completely unimportant as the champion. Sometimes I forget he even is the champion. And I think this week going into a big PLE like Money in the Bank, I don't think he did himself any favors. So I'm going to give it to Jey Uso.
This is hilarious. I literally wrote down Jey Uso, and I was like, he ain't going to pick Jey Uso. This week, we're going to be off on our LVD and MVDs. Maybe we're going to be exactly the same. I say the same thing, man. This is the only thing I agree with Rikishi is that he does feel unimportant, but I also feel like we're building to something. I feel like this is the whole point because I think we are going to get the Sami turn. I think Jay is going to constantly be that underdog champion, kind of like Bryan Danielson was, where he's going to overcome and win and be that underdog that people root for more and more. But he does need more than just, he's just constantly this the whole time. He's just like
he looks confused,
he's constantly
and
upset. He's just like, and the worst part was that Gunther basically called him out for being everything he is. He's like, yo, son, they booking you like shit. I just want you to know that. And he was like, no, they're not. I mean, That's
why he unfollowed WWE.
Yeah, exactly. So, I agree. Jey Uso as well. All right, let's end on a happy. Who's your MVD, your most valuable dude or dudette?
I'm going with Stephanie Vaquer. I think she came in her very first match on Monday Night Raw since being called up from NXT, and not only does she win, but she qualifies for Money in the Bank. And she's going to be performing double duty this weekend with the AAA show as well. So she's going to be all over the place. And and don't forget, she got the Undertaker treatment. She got the Undertaker rub from Rhea Ripley when she extended her hand backstage. So there was that moment too. So they obviously think Stephanie Vaquer is a big star, and they love her. She was great in NXT. She's going to continue to be great on the main roster. Stephanie Vaquer is my MVD.
God, I knew you were going to say that. Look, I love me some Rhea Ripley more than anybody, but to compare her to the Undertaker, you deserve to be slapped directly in the face.
I know.
Just everything the Undertaker was, because he was known as like the locker room like dad. He was like, you have to go through the Undertaker to get respect. That ain't Rhea Ripley, son. By the way, Rhea Ripley, holy, is she just losing weight every fucking and Jesus Christ. Yeah. She is like, I like the non-muscular Rhea. She is doing it. Woo! Anyway, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. And I also like that you're going to have duty everywhere. All right, so my MVD is going to one Naomi. I think she cut a fire promo. She felt the most important out of every woman that was on the hottest women's title division right now in the WWE, out of SmackDown and Raw. And she won and qualified to Money in the Bank. I mean, she just looks like her, and I feel like she's gonna has the most momentum to win it. So I think Naomi is my favorite right now. She has never been better. It just shows that when her and Mercedes left, sure, Mercedes went and pouted and ran away from WWE because she felt like she was mistreated. Naomi was like, no, it just is what it is. I'm gonna build myself back up, my brand, and come back and show them why they shouldn't have fired me and let me go. And I love it. And all props to Naomi. So good on her. She's doing great. She's my MVD of the week.
Yeah, that's a solid pick. She's having a great week, and I think she's going to cap it off with a Money in the Bank win.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully. All right. That was our week in review, and we'll be coming back to you with AEW this Friday, where we're going to talk all things Dynamite and Collision on the same day. We'll knock those two down, and we won't have predictions for once. That's good to know. But AEW has been cooking as well, so we're excited. If you listen to both shows, check that out. As always, don't forget to hit us with those comments, hit us with those likes, hit us with those 5-star reviews, however you're listening to us. Subscribe, follow, whatever venture you are on when you listen to the Two Dudes with Attitudes. And as always, if you want to check me out, I am at all your social media lovelies at my_wrestling_opinion. If you just want to listen to just my point of view that is not affiliated with Ryan in any way, shape, or form. And with me, as always, is
at Ryan Enjoys Wrestling on all the social media platforms. Go follow me there. Go follow us on X at Two Dudes PC. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe at Two Dudes with Attitudes, and follow us on TikTok at Two Dudes with Attitudes as well. And if you're listening to us on Apple and Spotify, we're really making some headway there. We're making a lot of progress up the ranks. So keep following, keep liking, keep subscribing, and go leave us a 5-star rating and review, and tell everyone about your favorite two dudes on the internet.
Two Dudes Wolfpack, we out.
Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Ryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes that bring the heat. Get the point, it's on time to